Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day's going wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, today I'm sharing with you the Spellbinders Clear Stamp and Die of the Month Club Kit and the Spellbinders Embossing Folder of the Month Club Kit. This embossing folder is called Fan Motif. It's a beautiful embossing folder. And then we have the Diamond and Arch Motif stamp set. This is really pretty. A lot of solid areas, so this is great for heat embossing. And then since this is the Stamp and Die Club kit, of course you get the dies that coordinate, but you also get the sentiment dies, which are perfect too. So today's cards are going to be pretty easy. I'm a little late posting this, but better late than never. And I'm going for a very, a card that actually would be great for an anniversary or a wedding. So we're going to start by taking both of our images. I'm going to create two cards today. And they're both kind of be fairly similar here. And since they are for solid on the most part, I'm going to bring in my stamping position. We're going to take our image, both images actually, and we're going to place them on our stamping positioner. I'm going to go over my images with my Memento ink. And I'm going to stamp it a few times because I want it nice and black. If you wanted to heat emboss, you could, but I want to color in my images with my Copic markers. And okay. And I think that looks beautiful. Those are such beautiful images. I'm going to go ahead and do one more panel. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to go ahead and put one more piece of cardstock in here and we're going to stamp one more. But this time I just want the flowers. Okay, while we have our second panel in here, I'm going to put my large images back and we're going to stamp our sentiment at the same time. And I'm going to stamp Hello Friend. And I'm also going to stamp Sending Love. And that is beautiful. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this panel out, and then we're going to do a little bit of coloring. So I have both panels. Before we do our die cutting, I'm going to color in the images on here and then also the flowers on this panel. And I want to go with a very neutral tone, so I'm going to use some warm gray markers. W6, W4, W2 are the colors we're going to be using. So some nice neutral tones. And for this panel, I'm just going to color in the flowers. I'm going to play a little bit of music while I color, and when I'm done coloring, I will get you back. Okay, coloring is all done, and I love how elegant and how rich. This is what I meant when I said it would make a great anniversary card. Okay, we're gonna die cut out our sentiments and then these two images, and then I'm gonna fussy cut out these two florals here, because you know I like layers. And so I'm gonna go ahead and take the coordinating dies and we'll line these up. everything is die cut, and I just think it looks so pretty. I did fussy cut out these 2 flowers, and then I also die cut out my sentiment using the sentiment dies. I die cut out my sentiments with black pop-up fun foam. We're going to go ahead and adhere this directly to our sentiment right now. So I have the fun foam behind my sentiments, and then I do have my black marker. What I'm going to do is go around all the edges of my fussy cut images. The nice thing is you have such a big solid black area to fussy cut around. If it's a little bit smaller than these images, since we're going to layer, you can get away with it. So I kind of went a little bit on the inside of those lines. Okay, so we have our single fussy cut flowers and our images and our sentiments. I'm going to zoom back out, and I'm going to have a little bit more die cutting to do. I have the Spellbinders Essential Rectangles and the Spellbinders Essential Circles. What we're going to do is take the 2 solid layers and then the detail layer in the middle, and I'm going to create a circle frame with these 3, and then I'll do the same with the rectangles. I want to create a frame with these 3 also. I'm going to line these up perfectly, run these through my die cut machine, and then at the same time I'm going to be embossing 2 panels with my fan motif embossing folder. My panels are going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. So I'll be getting this done and I'll be right back. My embossing is done, and I just think this embossing folder is super pretty. I'm going to go ahead and adhere these to my card bases. I have 2 standard A2 size card bases. And we'll just use our tape runner. I love the texture that this gives in our background. Now, here are my frames. I have a white one, and then I have a white circle, and then I did die cut out a black circle using the same dies. I just didn't add that dotted insert. I'm going to go ahead and take my tape runner, and I want to go around the edges here of my circle. And then I will tack this down. This way my polka dots are black and you can see them against the white cardstock. Now with this one I could have did the same thing, but it's just as easy to go around the edges here with your tape runner and then just using some black strips. It's just as easy to fill in those areas with black cardstock. So my frames are done. I do want to add some foam tape behind here so we give this a little bit of dimension. Okay, I did put foam adhesive behind my frames. I just used black foam tape. And before we adhere this to our card bases, what I'm going to do is do a little bit of ink splattering. My ink splattering, I'm going to be using just an acrylic block and some pumice stone ink. I think pumice stone is a nice warm gray ink. I'm going to add a little bit of water to this, and then I'm going to do some splattering. Okay, I think that looks wonderful. I think that turned out wonderful. After I put my splatters on here, we're going to start with our square frame. I'm going to add this on my card base, kind of centering it. And then I'm going to take this motif and place this right in the center. And what's nice is Spellbinders has black foam squares. And not that it would matter since it's going to be behind there. In case the recipient does tilt the card a little bit, black's always nice. Lovely. And then I'll do the same thing with my circle, but I want my circle, I'm going to offset this to the right, and of course a little bit's overhanging, so I'm going to trim this off with my scissors. Okay, and then I'll take this motif and we're going to add this to the circle one, the smaller motif. Like so. Now we have our extra flowers. I was going to layer them right on top, and you can see I already put some gems on there. I used the Color Essential Crystal Mix gems. And I'm going to flip these flowers over, and instead of layering them on top, I think we're going to offset them just a little bit. Maybe we'll add it right here. I think that's going to work out beautifully. You can put as many of these or as little as you want. Okay, after we have this done, I'm going to take our sentiment, add a little glue behind here. And I'm attaching this side to this side because we have that dimension. And I think those are a good spot. Now I'm almost done. I'm going to finish my project off by adding a few extra gems around my sentiment here. I'm going to spread out that sparkle. Wonderful. And then lastly, the berries I want to go over with my glazing glue. Going to give these a little bit of dimension. It's been working. I've been diligent, and I've been burping my glazing glue, and it hasn't clogged on me, which is really good. But those are my projects today for Spellbinders, using the Spellbinders Clear Stamp and Die of the Month Club Kit, and also the embossing folder of the Month Club Kit. Some pretty monochromatic cards, but I think they're very elegant, and get some beautiful stamps. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me. We will see you again real soon.